to day 4 of this 1 week to create your movement marketing media kit with me, Iona Mead. So today for the MMMK challenge for short, we are going to cover day 4 is what is an author and authority bio look like. So we're gonna I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna hope that this live stream does not freeze and the internet doesn't drop out. If you've seen the previous days, day 1 went okay, day 2 and day 3, the internet dropped out towards the hour-ish mark. I'm going to try get done sooner and just see how we go. So if I freeze, if you can't hear me, it's the internet, you know, as a spiritual digital nomad, that's it. Like, so I apologize in advance. Wherever you are watching this, I'm streaming it out on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, within the soullegacyacademy.com for my students. So I brought this training out of my Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint Author and Authority Media Program and Mastermind for you to share it with you. So hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are watching on the playlist on the Soul Legacy TV, so if I pull this off, you'll see my name there, so you can type it into YouTube and find this playlist at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so there's a playlist of this 7 days. And so I do this challenge annually on the 3rd week of September, Monday to Sunday, 7 days, at 7:30 p.m. UK time. So the idea is whenever you come across this is to watch it all the way through the end. It is a challenge. Follow it all the way through. Let me know, comment down below, let me know how you go. But also implement, or let me teach you how to implement, and then set like a 12-month time frame for you to actually get your own movement marketing media kit challenge up and running. All right. So if you leave any comments, I'll be able to pull them up. If you are on Facebook, you'll have to give StreamYard permission. And I am early. I'm like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes early. And I just wanted to go. I was just sitting there itching to go. All right, so let me just share my screen with you. So this is the movement marketing media kit. This is the 1-pager, but what we are going to do is create a whole portfolio. And if you haven't seen the days 1 to 3, then I explain the inspiration behind this 1-pager. I explain the whole inspiration around someone reaching out to me, Sasha Sabbath reaching out to me when I was doing my summit. It was called the #1 Divine Intervention virtual event, and sharing with me her bio, and it was amazing, and her portfolio and her interview questions and all the things. I didn't use the interview questions for guest, it was just what flowed through. But the way that she presented herself and her media kit to me just absolutely blew me away. It was like 9 years ago, and it still stayed with me today. I asked permission from Sasha to share it with my students back then. And now I'm revamping into the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint. I wanted to bring it out there. So I've done this a couple of times. And I've shared this media kit. This is a template for you in Canva. So you'll see down below that there's a template in Canva if you want to use it. So by author and authority bio, what I mean by author is a book, your book on Amazon. And what I mean by authority is your YouTube channel or YouTube podcast or YouTube summit, right? Or all of the above. And so what I will do is I will share my mind map and I will walk you through this, and I will read the bio that I have put on here, and then see other people's bios and how you want to create your media kit and why I'm doing that. And then throughout the week, I'll talk about sharing our spiritual awakening story, etc. All right, so hopefully that will make sense. So let me just click into my mind map. I'm actually clicking into the screen on here. So just to let you know, I'm being mindful there. This is a free challenge, right, that I've put on my YouTube channel, and then that I do teachings, and then I give you some tasks. So you do have homework. And so far, day 1 was share your life achievements in our Facebook group, and then day 2 was gather all the places that you've been an author, and like so you can create your portfolio. And day 3 was collect all the places that you've been, you know, featured on an authority, like on podcasts, on summits, on radio, on TV, what have you. And if you don't have any of that, that's fine. We'll do a plan so that you will eventually have something. And today we're going to do the bio piece. Now, you might not get all of this done, but I do have the template and I do have a framework for you to create this. And I also want to direct you to a few places where you can look at people that are similar to what you're doing in the industry, or people that you really admire, and write your bio. Some people may be super successful and you might not be anywhere near what your life accomplishments might not be anywhere near, but we all have to start somewhere. So start from where you are and just enjoy this process. All right, so let me share with you. I'm going to go back out here. I'm going to share with you the so this is Sasha Sabbath, and she shared with me her bio. I'm going to start there actually. And somewhere along here is the group that I want you to share that in, and I can't find it. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is the group. So I'm the producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, and the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network is made up of YouTube podcasters partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs with a movement. So now we're doing the 1 week to create your movement marketing media kit. Every single member in that group should have a media kit, whether they're going through this or they've got their own media kit and they're bringing it. You don't have to follow mine, but I'm going to be very, what's the word? I want to say, I'm going to have boundaries of how many people I would rather have. And we've got a monthly networking call. So we can come and co-create and connect and collaborate. There's a good few people in that group. As the social media stands, I won't name one social media platform. We don't always see posts and we don't always connect. So if you see this, let me know and then schedule onto our monthly networking call so that we can actually, really make our difference in the world and really get our movements out there. And if you don't have an audience in a social media platform, then you need this even more, so that you can build one and you can stand proud in your light work and actually share your gifts out there. And I want to support you in doing that. So every single member after this week, what I've done, I will be reaching out and saying, come and share with us your media kit, come and get on the call. And if you don't resonate with a group, then just leave. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be just like that. So I've built a network of 1,200 people in 12 weeks, a spiritual businesswoman network, which was, I've got my hair on my arm, sorry, which was amazing. However, I'm really in the business of really making a difference and having a ripple effect in the world. So I'm just going to up level my energy and offer these calls because they're amazing, to the people that resonate. And it's a do or die kind of thing, like you're in or you're out. And when I go out and I get featured, it's like, if you are in here, you are required to come to that monthly call as building a media kit, and so that we can connect and co-create and cross-promote. It's as simple as that, because it turns me off when people are not ready. They don't see their own light. Like, I can hold space, don't get me wrong, but if you're not in the process of actually putting this stuff together, or you've already done it, doesn't make sense. It's not actually the space for you. So just saying, so just watch out for that. If there's no lurking, I've had people on here, there's somebody else on here now. I've had people lurking, and I'm not a lurker. I really want to support you in standing firm. And I think that it's time that somebody said, come on. People always talk about me going, like giving this, they talk about me, give me a testimonial. And they're like, she pushes you. And they kind of do it like, so it's a gradual, gentle, I'm just going to shove you off the edge and just say, come on, let's go, because we're going. There's no more hiding behind closed doors. There's no more lurking. And I came on early, and I was just like, I'm so eager and so excited about it. And then I'm just on this like 10-minute rant that I didn't expect to be on. But that's just how I feel. Right, how I feel. Somebody's popped off because I've said, like, come and participate. Robin is here. Hey, love, YouTube podcasters partnerships make sense to share in there. Yes. So 1 week to get your movement marketing media kit challenge done. It might take you ages, but that's fine. But at least if you're in the process, then we're there for a reason, because I can then put my name to the network and say, this is a fabulous network, and I can go out there and make a stand for everybody that's in there and get us coverage and us media, etc. But if there's people just lurking and can't be bothered, it's like there's another space for you to do that. Not in my world, not in my energy. And today, as I've talked about my movement, and this is probably it that's dropping in, it's environmental freedom frequency today, Thursdays. So we have contribution freedom Monday, health freedom Tuesday, emotional freedom Wednesday, and environmental freedom Thursday. That coupled with your girl is like in the midst or coming to my monthly cycle, and I kind of get a bit tough love. Like, I'm just going to share it. So there you go. You got it. So, Rose says, I hear that. We don't want a group with big numbers if they aren't actually benefiting or engaging. No. So expect me to reach out and expect that group to diminish. And if it has to start from scratch, it starts from scratch, because I'm not getting on another monthly call. And last month I cut it, and then people were like, what happened to the call? I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't even realize that they were scheduled on. But yeah, if it's not that you're showing up with your media kit, I don't have anything to offer, because it's collaboration and connections is what I promise on that call. All right, so let's go with that said, okay? Let's go before the internet cuts out. All right, so thank you, Robin, for joining me and for showing up every single day as a lead soul guided instructor. Let me do that. I haven't done that. Sorry, Robin. So Robin is our lead soul guided instructor. She's the host of the Energy Healing TV TV podcast on Rumble and on Spotify, and she is the founder of the Energy Healing School.com, and our lead soul guided instructor for SLA, soullegacyacademy.com, and the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. So Robin's here every single day, holding space for me, holding space for herself, and holding space for the collective. And we are up leveling the energy, and it feels amazing. And some of the energy that was in before and around us will fall by the wayside, and that just opens up space when you're ready to up level, that we're here. And I'm always calling people out. I always call myself out. And I think with this week, it's like, yeah, it's time. Robin says, thank you for the shout, love. You're welcome. All right, so let's go with this mind map. So you've seen that I've been talking about this, and let me see if you can see this well. Well, you can see this as well as you can. I'll let you know where to get it. That might be helpful. Will it be in here? All right. So in here is the spiritual. If you go to my website, which I can't now because I'm logged into the platform, is the masterclass, right? So I talked about www.soullegacyacademy.com/masterclass. Inside there are some bonus gifts. So the one-page plan, which I talked about, I've got a cheat sheet in there, and I've got the one-page plan, where I talked about having a successful or unsuccessful business model. And we're on this stage talking about interviews, YouTube, podcasts, magazines. We start in stage 1, which is a free stage, and it's quite a scrappy stage of, building your group, building your socials, blah, 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 getting on calls, creating your program if you haven't, doing all the things, doing all the most. And I have teachings and trainings on that. And then once you've done that, then actually going out there and getting featured and sharing commission on your programs. But we want it to be tested, proven. And so when you're writing your bio, so that's where you can get that from. So when you're writing your bio, it's actually about the people that you're actually helping. It's not just a bio. And I've seen people and been very closely connected to people that have an amazing bio, and they're either not walking their talk, or the bio is basically fluff. And we don't want that. We want a bio that actually represents who we are. So I've got this 3-step, it's called a 3-step YouTube Soul Tribe income attraction model, launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy. And I've got training on it. And then I've broken the 3-step workbook up into 3 steps, if that makes sense. And I walk you through this. So this is how you're going to create your bio, if you choose to, totally free on the Soul Legacy Academy. In my 5-day spiritual YouTubers from scratch, I've been talking about, there's my book as an author on Amazon. I have a 5-day challenge. to help you start your spiritual business and a spiritual biz YouTube channel, and focus on your book, creating it around your book and book tours, etc., etc. Right? And I literally walk day one through this step, day two through this step, day three through this step, because it's that important. But I gift you it because it's important. So, a profitable sole purpose in my eyes, if you don't have something that you've already proven in stage one that is profitable, that your messaging is right, that you're aligning your movement, your message, and your money before you start to put it out there, you're going to fall on deaf ears. You're going to be nervous, and you're not actually going to position yourself right. So make sure I'm not like dying a deaf in here. So this helps you to do that basically. So you're welcome. So a profitable surplus is my YouTube Soul Tribe income attraction model is. So I've got some questions, and then this bit is the start of the bio. And so there's 3 steps. So I'm not going to go through all of it now, but what I'm sharing with you on that 1-page template is what I've done and I keep doing, and Robin's done and she keeps doing, and she's probably about to do it again. Right. And so I talk about soul purpose serving, the title you want to be seen as on YouTube. And I'll give my example, then I'll share the actual template. The host of the soul, and this is a little bit outdated, but don't worry about it. You can always come back and update yours, and post this in the group, right? When you've done it, post it in the group as homework. So your bio. So hosted the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, YouTube podcast and YouTube Summit, the Soul Legacy Movement. That is my movement. I have a big PDF about my movement. And if you want that, you can have it and you can model your actual movement statement, because this is what makes me have that fire in my belly. I think it's in the group, and if it's not in the group, it's in the private student community, and I'll pull it out there and share it. Soul problem solving, the introduction, what you're seen to do. So I say this is a formula for me. I feel blessed to teach, insert the YouTube Soul Tribe, spiritual YouTubers, right? To co-create a high-paying soul client funnel formula using their author and authority media platform with video. We focus on aligning their movement, message, and money so they can launch, lead, and leave their soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow. So your template here is I feel blessed to teach X to X using X. We focus on X so they can X with that secret sauce, right? So you can put support, teach, guide. People say help all the time, and not everyone resonates with help. Some people think that help is like that codependency or whatever that is. I'm like, just do what you do. Doesn't matter. Like, let's not get caught up on the stuff. And so for me, I talk about being a soul guided influencer. So that soul guided influencer status, the tagline seemed to be. So I introduced myself as Iona Maid, founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, Soul Legacy TV, Soul Legacy Movement, Soul Legacy Academy. That's all going to go in how I speak about myself and how I want somebody else to speak about me. When they're interviewing me, or I'm putting this, I've got this on my Amazon. You'll have different bios for different purposes, and I'll walk you through different ones, and I'll walk you through Sasha's as well. 2-time #1 bestselling author. I'm 4-time #1 bestselling author, producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, creator of the Soul Legacy Launch, Blueprint, author and authority media program and mastermind. So it's pretty simple, and there's another 2 steps to go through, which I'm not going to walk you through now. But, and I'm going to shut this down, and hopefully I won't need to open it again. But you get the idea. So we've got the masterclass in here, we've got the monthly call in here, we've got the homework in here. Everything that you need that I'm talking about is in this free masterclass. Now, this next bio is in my my world tour. You probably won't be able to see it very well, but I've shown you where the links are, and you'll find it. If you want it, you'll find it. Robin says, hang on. Yes, we are up leveling, baby. Woo, woo. Yes, I'm doing it again, expansion and evolution. And so Robin's been with me on this journey for a couple of years now, 2.5 years, nearly 3 years, and not doing this actively because I was off for a whole year. And before that, we'd taken time off, and Robin's won't mind me sharing, we were both caring. Like, I was caring as a foster carer, Robin's caring for a family, a mum, and a granddaughter, homeschooling, and all those things. So we've not been in full force and full energy. We've kind of just been working behind the scenes a bit and doing the most. And now we're kind of like, well, I am. Robin's still in the same life circumstances, so still juggling and balancing. and I changed my whole life circumstances so I could actually focus on this. So I'm really, really ready. It's like, yeah, and Robin's just gonna come along for the ride. So within my tour, let me just click back onto my site. So within my tour, I've done my bio. Do you want me to read the bio, or do you want to read it out? I'm saying, about positioning yourself. I've just written this bio. I did give a bio to the summit that I talked about. Stop writing and start selling. Summit. Should I read the bio? I'm not that great at reading because I've got early and dyslexia. Do you want me to read the bio? Do you want me to read it? I will, because I put it on the screen and I know you can't see it. Apologies if you can hear me swallowing. And when you do that and you swallow and you drink online, it makes you want to choke. You don't want somebody to hear you. Should I read the bio, Robin? Or should I move on to Sasha's bio? Should I read my bio first or Sasha's? And there's a lag, isn't there? I'll wait. if Robin says read the bio, I'll read the bio. Robin says read it, please. Okay. I need my Erlen, my blue glasses on. Really, I will do my best. Okay, I can't make this bigger, but it's supposed to be a short bio, but I don't need to give you a copy of this because you can enroll for free and get this and then see. You can also get like a sense of what this media kit is, full sense, for free. All right. So short bio. Iona Mead is a spiritual YouTuber. I wrote that on there the other day. I was like, oh, okay, because obviously you book. Spiritual YouTuber, virtual speaker, spiritual book and online business model mentor, and 4-time #1 best-selling author. With over a decade of experience working virtually based in the UK, she works with service-based business owners, soul-guided influencers, and spiritual entrepreneurs from all over the world. Typically, they come to her with a fear around online public speaking and virtual presenting, being visible on camera on the global virtual stage, and the techie stuff around building their online presence and online courses using video. They can't figure out how to speak to, serve, and sign up high-paying soul clients online, and fears of failure, success, and selling, or selling is usually holding them back for years from aligning their movement, their message, and their money. Iona teaches her students how to get clarity, confidence, and put the systems, strategies in place so that they can start, build, and grow a successful online spiritual business on YouTube with a #1 best-selling book launch. Using what she calls the soul-guided influencers way, she hands them a one-page plan and framework to build a freedom-driven online spiritual business using a serving marketing strategy. This includes simple strategies to leverage and automate their video content, video podcast, video courses, and video challenges, virtual book tour, and video coaching services all around their book. They create a 12-month live stream and video visibility plan to build their author and authority media platform online so that they can become a featured expert in her co-authored annual book series, as well as featuring their expertise on interviews, on YouTube, podcasts and summits, TV, radio, magazines, articles, blogs and books, etc., sharing their spiritual awakening story with the world, raw and real. And I wrote that the other day, and then my long bio is too long to read, but I talk about the movement piece. And so my movement is, let me see the movement bit, because you want to include the movement bit, really. Hang on. Did I even put it in there? To reach 100,000. There you go. With the Soul Legacy movement, the purpose of my movement. Then with the Soul Legacy movement, her soul's intention is to connect, co-create, and collaborate in joint vision partnerships so we can collectively be and guide 1 million spiritual YouTube channel subscribers to rise and reside at the vibration we wish to witness in the world. So, like, if I support you, then you support your tribe, and then do you know what I mean, and their family, and it's just such a beautiful ripple effect, and I love it. And so your bio, an author and authority bio, looks like you claiming that you are an author and you claiming what you are the host of. So your YouTube channel, what your movement is, your website is, all of those things. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Robin says, you're right, we can't see it. Yeah, I know you can't. Yeah, no, you can't see it, but you will be able to see it because you can go into the Soul Legacy Academy and read it. You can also go in the Soul Legacy Academy again and join my annual book launch and book birthing call on the 6th of May. You can join the book club. You can have a free chapter. You can have the free chapter VIP day. You can download a free chapter of the book, or you can just read the book. So there's so many things in there, and then my features will be in there as well. So what I wanted to do was create a portfolio, not only for students in the mastermind or just students in general, but also a portfolio for those that want to feature me and want to actually pull out points in my book and know that I've been featured in other places. So hopefully that is helpful. I'm going to shut that down now. Was that helpful to hear a bio and see a bio? I'm going to share Sasha's bio as well. Was that helpful, Robin? So again, this is day 4. What does an author and authority? And I'm going to share other people's, like people that you will know, not just Sasha and I. But it will be if you've got a bio, it's like, is your bio updated? Does it say what you really want it to say? I had to rewrite my bio for the summit, and it wasn't even that one. I wrote it, and you had so many words to write down what it was, and then I was like, oh well, I really want to hone in on what it is that I really want to get out in the world. And it makes you, because you're going to go get featured, on TV, podcast, radio, and you want it to be broad enough so that you can feature, but narrow enough to speak to your audience. And I talk about in the Soul Legacy Launch Blueprint, speaking to your STAP, your Soul Tribe Avatar Profile Persona, meaning your ideal client. You're not speaking to everyone. Not everybody needs to get you. But when you've got a vision and you've got a vision and a mission to support your soul tribe, make a difference, and you are reaching a similar or the same person as someone else, but they're reaching them in. So I say I support you in your media kit. Somebody else like Brenda might support you in your video confidence or your soul story, or somebody else might support you in your fitness, or somebody, but it's the same people, but they've got a vision to make a difference, if that makes sense. Let me come back. Robin says, yeah, that makes sense. I'll read it again. Right. So you can model mine. I've had like programs and coaching on how to write them. And then the other day I was just like, and I never do it. I never completely finish it. And I'm like the bio that I did, I got help from a coach years ago. And he said, what do you do? And what the ending was, I helping and healing professionals to achieve and maintain financial freedom and have peace of mind. That was that one. So, and there's people that teach a little framework, and I wanted to do mine in the way that I wanted to do it. And so that framework, I will break that down in the author program. And you'll be happy with what you've done, and you can go out there and see what other people have done. And when I first did my bio, I saw a lady called Ian Levanzant. She's absolutely my all-time favorite author, and I watched how her bio was, and I was like, oh well, I'm really good at just taking the framework, not taking people's words, because I'm not her. But she said I'm a whatever time #1 best-selling author and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I want to aspire to be like that. So there's bios everywhere, so you can take pieces. You don't have to take mine. You take mine, whatever, but there's ways. You'll start to notice people's bios. You start to notice when you listen to podcasts and you watch YouTube interviews, which I'm sure you do, and people are introducing, watch and listen to how people are being introduced and how people are introducing themselves, what's in the description, what's on their website. I want you to be an observer, not just an absorber of information. You need to then step back and observe how people are moving in the industry so you can model successful people and not get so sucked in and absorbing, like learning. That's fine. But at some point when you step into that soul guided influencers role, you kind of just lock off a lot of learning. You have little bits, but it's not so absorbed and heavy, like every day, like continuously, what you want to do is watch and model I was gonna say rich and successful people, because I did the Millionaire Mind Intensive. Robin says, yeah, it helps bring it together. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. And again, this what I'm teaching, people don't teach it for free. They don't give the business model away. It's taken me years to get to here. And just sharing it just out like that, because people want to copycat you anyway and then claim it's their own. And people say, oh, don't tell people all of your ideas. Somebody said that to me about the next book that I want to write, waiting for the one. And I was like, nobody can, because they don't have my story. Nobody can take this model, because it's simple, but it's so complex on the back end, and it's got my stamp all over it. And if you saw it somewhere else, you'd say, oh yeah, I only taught you how to do that, because it's not anywhere out there. Because the pieces are not me reinventing the wheel, but the framework is my stamp on my framework, because that's what I wanted. I got so tired of seeing the same regurgitated framework. I'm like, oh, but like I said, people aren't teaching it, and they aren't teaching it for free. I'm just going to have a sip of water. So I may or may not have said what a joint vision partner is, but hopefully you'll kind of get that. You'll see when people are interviewed and they've like, oh my God, Lewis Howes, Tom Bilyeu, Diary of a CEO guy, Stephen Bartlett, Lisa Bilyeu, Impact Theory, Mel Robbins, who else? But like, what is your favorite YouTube channel where they interview people? Just have a look at that over the next week and look at those bios. And if you don't ever watch interviews and watch how people are featured, then start. And so it will make more sense. Because I'm looking at this through that lens of being that person who is being interviewed. So repurposing, presenting, and profiting from your video, text, audio, and video print media. So I've just gone through that. There you go. See, I've done it all. I'm ahead of myself. That's because I know my stuff, and that's basically that bio. You do have some tasks. I'm going to share Sasha's bio, and then I'm going to give you examples of where you can go to see more, and just really take some time to study it. I'm not saying, even if you post your video and your homework of, oh, that's what I got from this, even if it's not done, it will be up leveled all the time. You can read your bio, tell us what your freebie is called and who it's for, and what result you get. So before I go into Sasha's, so on my bio, then on my template, I say, I feel blessed to, so about me, I feel blessed. No, I'll start at the top. Iona Mead, host of Soul Legacy TV, authority, YouTube podcast and YouTube Summit, the Soul Legacy Movement, and founder of the Soul Legacy Academy.com. Right, that's it. Then and then obviously my picture. So you need a picture. If you don't have a picture, post, you'll put everything together. So the about me, I feel blessed to teach spiritual biz YouTubers to create a high-paying soul client, high-paying one-to-many soul client funnel formula using their author and authority platform with video. We focus on aligning their movement, message, and money so that they can launch, lead, and leave their soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow. That's what I've just walked you through. 4-time #1 international #1 best-selling author, put my Amazon, and then featured on empowered women of social media, the soulful messages, the right guidance at the right time, blah blah blah, and then my own, and the secret child left after loss. Then my own book, author of my upcoming annual co-authored book series, the Soul Legacy Journal, Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy by Lightworkers, and that's by you guys. And then a picture of my book. And so the picture of my book has #1 best-selling status on after I've launched it on pre-order, before I've even written it, right? And I'll share with you in the mastermind how to do that. But you'll see on my banner on my YouTube channel and on my website that this doesn't have the #1 bestseller sticker on it. And I had this cover for this book ages and ages before it was written. It was just an idea. So my Fiverr guy, if you want my Fiverr guy's details, I think he's great. You have to have that cover. I like that cover. It's my book, but he does amazing. And so you can create your YouTube channel, go for the 5-day challenge, my spiritual YouTubers, the challenge that is in the core of is at the core of this book. Create your YouTube channel, your banner, your icon, the name, your playlists, your channel trailer without creating lots of content, because I share with you how to create a playlist with no content in your videos, right? Saving you time. How to create your book with it, do you know what I mean? And then go out and get featured, and you're marketing while you're building that platform. You're not sitting there trying to struggle, trying to create a program, trying to create all the content, trying to create all these videos. It doesn't make sense, because you're going to do this over this next year, and you can position yourself and just go out there and get featured. Just throw yourself into it, because, excuse me, when you sit there creating all these videos, creating all of this content, you are stagnant. And what happens is you start to speak to nobody, because your voice isn't strong, as strong as when you're serving and you've got case studies for your book and you've launched your program as well. And I also teach you how to launch your program in beta and pilot without actually having created it. So all three of the things is like, oh gosh, that's a lot. No, I teach you to create it, name it, do all the things without having to get bogged down in the creation process. And if you think that's crazy, try actually sitting there for years creating content for people that you don't really know who is your staff, and people that you don't really know who's going to pay for your services. It's a really backwards way of doing it, but it works. So then we've got YouTube on here, and then my offer on my Media Kit is the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, which I've just mentioned, which sits there, and we go live on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time, because, brief, I've scheduled out my business for 7 years, so I can say I will be live, right? And if I don't want to be live, then I can schedule it and just put a recording in there. So just saying. Go from spiritual awakening to spiritual alchemy, attract millions, search for your problem solving soul work, or media every single day. Bang 50 game 50 days challenge, etc. And then down here again, the movement part. I own a soul guided instructor. So you've got this. And subscribe to the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast for live daily journaling on intentional living and life work balance at the Soul Legacy TV. Right. So it's a 1-page plan, which a 1-page media kit, sorry, which has my bio as an author and an authority, and then it has an enrollment spot. And I talked about that 1-page successful spiritual business plan. It's the marketing and the enrollment spot into actually earning from your light work and your gifts. Hopefully that wasn't too much. I'll have a break and come to questions if you have any. Then I'm going to do Sasha's bio, and then I'm going to go over to some examples, and hopefully that will end today quite quickly, because I've talked about a lot. We'll talk about questions. So Sasha's bio is, yeah, so she's got a short bio here. All right, I'll come to questions and I'll talk about Sasha's bio. And let me know if this is making sense and this is helping. Robin says, yes, it helps. You've got that one. Robin says that's a very different perspective, observing rather than absorbing all the info like that. Yeah. It's massive, isn't it? And I've learned that over the time, because I love going on social media. I love doing all the things, but what I noticed is being intentional, just to backtrack my movement, which Robin doesn't know. I know you know, but you know, sometimes when you're like, oh, I'll explain it in this way. So as I talk about living intentionally, what we do is we schedule out on our calendar 24 hours in a day. And so it's like, how many hours are we sleeping? How many hours are we exercising? How many hours are we working? What environments are we in? Like how many times? So then, therefore, when you're filling your life up intentionally, you don't, I don't go on the social scrolling all day. Like when I do my live, I might go like this a little bit, because it'll say something that's caught it, and it might be Robin or Ramona, or I saw Lindsay's post today. But that's it. Like I can count, like, and then if people see my green light or I'm on Facebook, it's because I'm building a group or I'm inviting people. I'm very, very, very intentional. I'm not sitting there all day being sucked in. And I love it, because I left when my son passed, and I was explaining yesterday that I did a year, fulfilled a year, and then came off the socials. Like I wiped everybody off my Facebook. And so when I posted, it was just for me. And so I didn't have friends to scroll on there. So I wasn't in the habit of doing it. And then when I came back on and I was doing the telechat show for the Gifted to Shine and getting this intentional living, I was connecting with people in Facebook groups, leaders. And so I had people in a list on Facebook. So I only saw their stuff so I could engage. Everything was intentional, basically. So my time on social media was intentional. If you notice, Robin, I pull up examples of, oh, I watched Stephen Bartlett and I'm watching this stuff, learning. And Alex Hormozi is one and Layla Hormozi is his wife. I'm watching this stuff, but I'm pulling it into my teaching. And I think that's just a learned thing. And now, what did I watch? I watched the Red Table Talk the other day with what's her name? Oh my gosh, Jada Pinkett wasn't on there. Will Smith took over with his children, and he was talking about his movie, and I was like, oh, I kind of watch things that I'm supposed to watch that I can then share the story, if that makes sense now. That's how I feel. That's how I take that in, like observing, like I'll get that lesson and share it, or I'll watch what they're saying so I can learn for myself and then pass that teaching on. And I was saying about, how he was feeling and how I was feeling and how it helped me to put into perspective. And I know that you do that and you share Carl Cease's stuff a lot, Robin, but it is that we've got to get into that observer mode rather than that absorbing and getting lost. And that's what social media is designed for. And that's what marketing is designed for. That's why we don't tend to love it. Robin says inflow. Me inflow, probably. Rant. It's very different than just creating a bunch of content. Yeah, it is. It is, and I think it's beautiful. Like I've learned different things off different people for pre-launching my course, and people don't tell you it unless you pay them a bunch of money, right? Grants, and I've done that, and then so that's where I first learned that years ago, 8-9 years ago, and then I was like, oh, I can apply that to the book. I was like, I didn't know that. And then I heard something on YouTube and I was like, let me just test this out. And then for the StreamYard, when the social media, Facebook went flaky, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't do this movement marketing media kit. It was 2 years ago, couldn't stream it in. And I was like, what is going on? I have to find an alternative. I was frustrated as anything. And then I moved it onto YouTube. That was how I ended up doing that. And then I realized I could schedule it out for a year. And I was like, oh, this is just amazing. So there was no content down and I could choose the date throughout the year and say, hey, this challenge is coming up. So some of it's been accidental. I'm just going to have a drink as well. Hang on. Robin says, I like it too. I visit specific groups sometimes to make connections and my own, obviously. Of course, we do see some things in our feeds as we open up our app. Yeah, we do. So, it's that how long are we actually spending really? Especially on that platform, especially on that. It's for business for me. I've taken off all of my friends and family. It's strictly I don't have, and I can read, listen to and watch YouTube or listen to an Audible book, and I'm happy. I can go for a walk, go to the gym. I can fit so many more things in my day. And this media kit is like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's a lot to scroll on Facebook for 2 and 3 hours a day, because most of us do, right? No blame, shame, and guilt. Well, let's just own it. All right, so we want our photos. That's just got our photos. So this is like today. We want our bio. That includes pics, and this is Sasha's bio. You don't have permission to copy this bio. Let me just let it. I know that it's black. It'll load. And so this is the bio that Sasha gave me. And again, the free gifts. So you might have a free gift. I've got my free gifts in the Soul Legacy Academy. And I ask you what your free gifts are. What would you give? Even if you're not really super clear what your offer is, say something. So 4 gifts a 15-minute laser coaching, free report, etc. So Sasha says, Sasha is international. I know that there's some words in here that I don't know. Sasha, from reading it last time, Sasha is internationally recognized as a soul purpose expert, master sound and energy healer, emerging public speaker, and the entrepreneur's intuition and purpose soul coach. With 20 years of experience, she facilitates her clients, students, and audiences in removing blocks to their success, accelerating intuition access, claiming a deeper embodiment of their soul purpose. Hang on, I have to put my finger on here. I should use my glasses. And by igniting their creative genius for remarkable business and personal soul-derived solutions. She does this, sorry, Sasha, I know I'm butchering it. She does this by implementing her Divine Triad toolkit, a customized personal and business mentoring system where she activates broadcasted divine energy called the transmission of grace, Celestine toning and sound healing, and intuitive energy scan readings. Her message, succeed in sync with your soul. That's a trademark. Sasha is also an animal healer and intuitive. Sasha is trained as a Reiki master, Soam peak energy something, broadcast healer, hypnotherapist, sorry, neurolinguistic programmer. I'm not perfect. Certified print. I don't know what that means, but it's trademarked. And personality profile coach, true purpose, that's trademarked, and true purpose coach, passion test, that's trademarked, facilitator, combined with various forms of intuitive and success coaching. Sasha customizes each of her, and I can't make this bigger so you can see, sorry, each of her mentoring and healing packages to fit one's unique aspirations and lifestyle after spending sacred time together and potential clients in a complementary soul purpose success activation session. For more details, please contact Sasha at. And I personally say that we don't want to do a one-on-one session when we're going featured out in the media, and most people don't allow you to do a one-on-one session. And I did share, I'm going to share some examples in a second, and so I'm going to shut that down. So I did share that the summit that I featured in yesterday, they said no one-on-one sessions. No, most people do. So when you're going out there, because when you want this to be repurposed and you want it to go out to hundreds and thousands of people, and you don't want to do hundreds and thousands of one-on-one coaching, how we do the sessions, we do it in stage 1 rather than doing it in stage 2. By that time, you want that enrollment spot, you want that masterclass, you want that I do a free chapter group coaching VIP day rather than a one-on-one session now. So just just to be mindful of that. I'm going to read this in a second. Hang on, I think you're good. That's it, right. Hang on, I've lost my page. So this, I got this today. So you know how you get it, 7 hours ago. And I talked about this before, but I can't remember talking about it on this day. But basically, this is radioguestlist.com for hosts. And I bought the directory for this, and I cannot for the life of me find the directory. So I'm going to create my own directory. It was years ago. But this person, Rodney Walker, was featured with all of this information to the emailing list, and he paid for that. And so Rodney also has an expert media kit. He has his expert interview credentials. He has interview Rodney Walker, the power of grant acquisition expert, to discuss. And he's got different topics to discuss, and we'll talk about more topics. So I'll pull this up again tomorrow. But basically, he's got a media kit. I don't know if I opened it or not. Let me see without trying to shut down my computer because it's been like tetchy. So this is his media kit. Rodney Walker, Man on a Mission. Rodney has a large and engaged social media following, that he can use to promote your show. He's also open to doing promotional teasers for the show before the show starts. Love him, right? Making life easy. But this goes out, this is a featured guest expert sponsor. So you can pay to be in front of different people to get your show out there, blah, blah, blah. That's where financial freedom comes in. And that's where earning and using business expense comes in, rather than like, oh gosh, I'd never do that, or why would I do that? It's part of a business expense, really, you know. Anyway, I have not done it, just so you know. I'm thinking about it, but I haven't. So find podcast and radio talk show interviews easily with the new podcast and radio directory 23 edition. And I can't remember how many years ago I bought it, and I cannot, it's just not on my, I've just changed laptops and desktops and blah, blah, blah. But they're not all relevant to where we would want to feature anyway. Not to, you know, if you want to buy it, then buy it. So they've said that it's a discount, right? $2.79. But again, I will create the directory. Now you see, when I say, you know, I'm giving value, other people charge for it. It's like, oh well, you know, why would you do that? Because I want to share, basically. And so when I have people that are like that time wasting, like just not really serious, I'm just like, I don't have time for it. Like I just don't have time for it. So that's the truth. So there's a directory, feature as a guest, blah blah blah. Now these are not quite bios, but I'm going to click into one of them. But they are people that actively get featured. So it's not just me. There are hundreds and thousands of people. So this person, Greg, he says, "Hi, I'm Greg, former corporate ladder climber, best-selling author, franchise, blah blah blah." So you'd see, I'll read one of them so you can kind of get more than blah blah blah. But you can see that people have this intro piece of introducing themselves. So let's do one here. Okay, let's choose this lady. All right, so positive music, affirmations, and success expert, Michelle Blood. Michelle is an expert in affirmations, meditation, enlightenment. I thought you might like that. Michelle has had a career as a rock singer in Australia, but was in a horrific road accident after months. So that's that spiritual awakening, right? She's had this accident. After months in hospital with many operations, Michelle discovered something that transformed her consciousness and healed her body. Your audience will be instantly uplifted and given tools to gain more confidence, success, and harmony in their lives. So I clicked on Michelle's, and this is her full bio. I'm not going to read it all, obviously. The Magic of Affirmation Power. So book there. Interview Michelle. So these are on the topic. So I'll pull those up again. But again, a media kit. I think I'd clicked on that. The media kit. That's a 2-pager. Media reviews that she's got. So I'll do the topics and stuff, but you can see people position themselves. Mine is a basic one because I don't have all the things, and it might change as every year as we come. You do whatever you want to do on Canva. You can do whatever you want. Jack Canfield's success team. Brian Tracy says, you know, some of these people are really super successful. Well, how did they get successful? If this wasn't working for them, they wouldn't still be doing it. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying go out and get featured here, but what I'm saying is you can have a look at what people are saying about themselves and be that observer again, right? Be that observer. Let's go to, and then Rodney's got his and the picture, etc. For me, I just like a natural picture. Oh gosh, I just shut my own Amazon page down. I didn't mean to. And so you can feature, and that's the pricing, etc., to get your stuff there. I'm not an affiliate or whatever. It says affiliate disclosure. I can be, but I'm not. But there are places and the things that I've come across over the years, and I've used it as in a purchase, but I haven't like broadcast myself out there. I'm going to share 3 Amazon Author Central page bios, and then I'm going to hop off. So hopefully that will make sense, and we might have you to the end with us, Robin, today, because I won't go on too long. See what they say to get ideas of how we can create our introductions. Yes. And then listen, go search them on Google and listen to their interviews. Like, you know, when you're not really confident about doing interviews, like, what would I say? listen to how the host is introducing them, listen to the questions that the host asked, listen to their answers, and then and especially on YouTube, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually get transcripts of a video interview, and see what people are saying and the questions that people are saying. And I will make a note of that. I don't have my pen here, to actually do that with my interview, and show you my own interview, and show you how you can, if somebody's got an interview, show you the kinds of questions that people ask, so that you can make a note of, not, don't ever rip anybody's stuff, but like as you're doing your interview topics, if you've watched a couple of interviews with of people in your area of expertise, in your genre, you'll realize that it's not that hard, and you can have a conversation. I'm all about conversations that serve, and you can practice in the mirror, practice walking around your house. I do it. I used to drive in the car and say, "Hey guys, welcome to blah blah blah," letting all out my secrets now. Or when I do my training online, and when I've done this, it's like, "Hey, welcome to blah 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 blah." I speak it out. I record myself a few times before I actually go live, or before I actually, share it out there. Like it, nobody's born doing it. We just practice. So yeah, you can create your introductions. I think it's super powerful. Profiles and bios. Yes, basically. So your media kit is strong in the way that not just Iona Mead says, but the way that you want it, and the way that you want to, and the way that, and I talk about this on the masterclass, the way that is positioned in the marketplace, because I don't know everybody's industry that is going to come into the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, and I'm not even going to claim to, or who's going to watch this, but you know, and you know what you've done, and you can pull those life what accomplishments and achievements. So let me go through Hal Elrod, and I'll pull mine back up as well. So this is Hal Elrod, the author of The Miracle Morning that I was talking about, all his books. Just go to his books, just to remind you, I've always talking about The Miracle Morning, and he co-authored so many. Sorry, I'm really thirsty today. The Miracle Morning for Millionaires, Network Marketers, Writers, blah, 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 blah. He's just an amazing guy, actually. So this is his. Can you see that? Right, this is his. So he says, it says, Hal Elrod, I'm reading again. Hal Elrod is on a mission to elevate the consciousness of humanity. That is his movement. Hal Elrod is on a mission. That's what keeps him going. He's on a mission to elevate the consciousness of humanity. Can I get an amen for that? It's not even my movement. I think he's elevated my consciousness. Just saying, one person at a time. He's elevated my consciousness. I'm always shouting about him. I think it's absolutely amazing. Can't reach it now, but the I think I've got the millionaire one up there. I can't stretch over my computer, but I love his books. I have got his planner, blah blah. I haven't brought all of my books, but I've got it. Anyway, as an author, sorry, Hal Elrod is on a mission to elevate. I will get as excited. Elevate the consciousness of humanity, one person at a time, as the author of one of the highest rated books on Amazon, The Miracle Morning, which has been translated into 37 languages and has over 3,000 five-star reviews, has impacted the lives of over 2 million people in more than 70 countries. He is doing exactly that. Now, he has a system to ask for a review, and I did a review. When you buy the book, he says, "Hey, did you find value?" And in his community, we have to have systems, right? What's incredible is Hal literally died at the age of 20. His car was hit head on by a drunk driver at 70 miles per hour. His heart stopped beating for 6 minutes. He broke 11 bones and woke up after being in a coma for 6 days, to be told by his doctors that he would probably never walk again. Not only did Hal walk, he ran a 52 mile ultra marathon, and went on to become the Hall of Fame business achiever, international keynote speaker, author, and grateful husband and father, all before the age of 30. So he's included his personal life and included what actually happened to him. So when you're looking back on, that's an achievement that he Do you know what I mean? It's not an academic achievement, but yeah, it's big. Well, part of it is. Not only did Hal Walker and blah, 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 then in November 2016, he nearly died again. And I remember this story. This is around the time that I came across him. Just a little bit after that, I think it was 2017. His kidneys, lungs, and heart were failing. He was diagnosed with a rare and very aggressive form of cancer and given a 30% chance of living. After enduring the most difficult year of his life, Hal is now cancer-free and furthering his mission as the founder of the Miracle Morning book series, host of the Achieve Your Goals podcast. I love his podcast. I do listen to it when it comes out. He sends an email out. Creator of the Best Year Ever Blueprint, never went to that live event, and I think he stopped it because it was just a lot. And executive producer of the Miracle Morning movie. I've watched that more recently. It's definitely worth a watch. A documentary that reveals the morning rituals of some of the world's most successful people. All it is morning routines. That's it. Like, that helped him. So he's now sharing it, a morning routine. This is what he's created out of a morning routine, out of his tragedy, his spiritual awakening, his all the things. And so Hal is grateful to be alive and living his mission alongside his wife and 2 young children in Austin. This is the part that I hadn't included on my Amazon Author Central page. So mine needs changing and updating for sure. To contact Hal about media appearances, hello, speaking at your event, or if you just want to receive free training videos and resources, visit halelrod.com. Hello, do we want to, sorry, I had that on there. We want to do that, don't we? So this is, hopefully enjoyed that. I did butcher it a bit. Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins is one of the leading voices in personal development and transformation and a New York Times bestselling author. And if you don't know Mel Robbins' backstory, she did a TED talk when her house was about to be repossessed, in foreclosure. It didn't actually go to foreclosure, but she was a hot mess, she says. And she was drinking too much. She wasn't getting the kids to school on time, but she'd done that around that time in her life. And the TED talk did not go anywhere for about a year. And then another year, something happened. Do you know what I mean? So if you listen to her story, this wasn't always her. So when you think, oh gosh, that couldn't possibly be me, we don't know. Anyway, her work includes the high five habit now. It did start with the 5-second rule. She literally said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that helped her get out of bed because she was experiencing anxiety, didn't ever get the kids to school on time, always missed the bus, didn't pack lunch on time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 got her success. And then the high five habits is going high five to yourself in the mirror. And I'm not making live because I've got her Audible book. I haven't got a physical book. Love it. I used some of this to help me swimming. But can you see the simplicity? She said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she's taking it out there honestly, hello. All right, let me stop butchering it. Sorry, Mel. She's amazing. I love her work. So she is the 4th-time #1 best-selling audiobooks, #1 podcast on Audible. She got a deal with Audible, I believe, as well as the signature online courses and that have changed the lives of more than 500,000 students worldwide. Your girl is going there. I'm telling you, me. Her groundbreaking work, I love it. Her groundbreaking work on behavior change has translated into 36 languages and is used by healthcare professionals, veterans, organizations, and the world's leading brands to inspire people to be more confident, effective, and fulfilled with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But she had to lead this movement. It is a movement. As one of the most widely booked and followed public speakers in the world, Mel coaches more than 60 million people online every single month, and videos feature her work more than 1 billion views online, including her TEDx talk, which is one of the most popular of all time. So TEDx made her really catapult to success. And she didn't, part of her story, she didn't even know that you could get paid for public speaking. So she was going around doing it for free. Now she's one of the highest paid public speakers. We all have to start somewhere. There's nothing Mel loves more than making a real difference in people's lives by teaching them to believe in themselves and inspiring them to take the actions that will change their lives. Mel lives in New England with her husband of 25 years and 3 children. So they put the family in there as well, but she will always be a Midwesterner at heart. You can find more about Mel, her courses, booking her to speak at an event, sign up for a newsletter with a list of 7K subscribers at Mel Robbins. So I haven't put that on that bio. So what we will do, and I've seen, oh, well, you're supposed to get contacted. I'll read one more and then we'll hop off. Okay, hopefully you're good for another couple of minutes, Robin. So Gabby Bernstein, have you heard of Gabby Bernstein? I think you have. I haven't mentioned Gabby. May Cause Miracles. I have that book. I have not read it. And I think I have The Universe Has Your Back. I remember from her from the days of Spirit Junkie. She's featured on Oprah, all the things. This is like the book's being turned into different languages. She's got a deck. She's got a journal. She's super well known, right? You've got to be actually out there. And her story was that she was recovering addict. So renowned spiritual teacher, #1 best-selling author, because they're on Amazon. Gabby Bernstein has been hailed as the next generation thought leader by Oprah Winfrey. Bernstein is the author of 9 best-selling books, including The Universe Has Your Back, Super Attractor, the latest New York Times bestseller, Happy Days. I haven't seen that one. The Guided Path from Trauma to Profound Freedom and Inner Peace. So simple. It's the things that we talk about all the time. Her empowering perspective, but just nobody knows about us because we haven't been featured in the media. Her empowering presence and compassion inspired the New York Times to call her a role model for the new generation of spiritual seekers. Bernstein is the creator and host of the podcast Dear Gabby, where she connects with her community and offers insightful, real-time coaching, straight talk, and big love. Through her presentations and generous Q&A sessions, Bernstein makes a major impact on individuals and organizations alike, and she has been sought after by groups such as Google, AOL, Build Series, TED Talks, Oprah Soul Sessions, and many more. Bernstein frequently appears on the Today and Good Morning America, amongst others, to share her expertise in meditation, manifestations, and cultivating inner peace. She co-hosted the Guinness World Records largest guided meditation with Deepak Chopra and was named to Oprah's Super Soul 100, a dynamic group of trailblazers whose vision and life's work are bringing a higher level of consciousness to the world. Bernstein is highly sought after keynote speaker. There's something like speaking, right? That's what they're doing, they're speaking, offering a profound message at peace that resonates with audience of all kinds. For more information on Gabby, visit her thing and her website. Let me pull up mine, because like mine is nothing like that. But I'm going to pull up mine anyway. And then you can pull up your own. I'm not going to read all mine out. But basically my bio starts with that again. And then the producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, I say 2-time #1 best-selling author, and my podcast, and I dedicate my work to my son. I went from divorce and living in a homeless unit. So those were my spiritual awakenings, my down days, and my mission and my movement, right? So, go and have a look. That is it. Like, we're going to do the homework, do yours. And I've shut down the mind map. So that is it. Let me just go on here. So how did you find that training? Hopefully it was good for you. Hopefully you understand the concept of an author and authority bio. The people that I've shared are not just focusing on one platform. They have a vision and a movement, and they are not afraid to be visible. And all of them started like a hot mess. So when you start as a hot mess and you own it and you share it, that hot mess, they say, I say turn your wounds into wisdom. And they say, oh, your message, whatever. I don't know. But like, don't be afraid to claim it. Write your book about whatever that is, and have your services being in alignment with that. One of the biggest things before we go is that people try to teach, coach, and serve on something else from a different place from where they are. And that's not the idea. It's to look back and see what we've done and where we've been and the steps and give them to somebody else. Like Gabby Bernstein isn't trying to serve from where Hal Elrod was. And, Mel Robbins isn't trying to serve from where Marie Folio was. Do you know what I mean? You can only serve from where you are because they're your gifts, because you were gifted in that hot mess to go out there and share. So that is all for day 4. And then we'll talk about topics and stuff. So I'll pull up whatever comes to mind, really. This was helpful. Thank you. I have some, yes, the research. And I think sometimes we forget to do, I say this all the time, please go out and do real world research, right? And then actually, work with people in that thing. And then that's the best real world research. But we have research to do. We'll do this in the boot camp for when we position our book in the marketplace. And I talk about this on the masterclass. Like, you've got to see what's out there in the marketplace in order for you to position yourself. And you notice that I introduced you to people that I know their story. I've been inspired by their work. I've read their books. I've bought their books. They resonated with me. So I want to model some of the things that they're doing. So if you look in your email inbox, if you look on your computer or your tablet or whatever that is, you'll see that you've bought certain books. Go and have a look at those authors, because they're the people that really resonate and speak to you. Go and have a look in your Kindle library. Go and have a look we'll do this throughout this MMMK. This is just dropping in. Go and have a look on your bookshelf. I mentioned that in my book. Go and have a look at the intro and the foreword and the format, and see what you would like to include in your book. Success leaves clues, and we do not have to reinvent the wheel. They've done it. They've got a team. Like, putting that, they didn't write that. They didn't write their bio. We're writing our own. They did not write all of the. I don't believe that they would have written it. I don't know that for sure. Don't try sue me. So Robin says, I have that hot mess start covered. Yes. So don't be afraid of the hot mess, but own how far you've come, because people don't want us to drag them into our hot mess and serve them from a hot mess. They want us to serve them from the hot mess that we once were. We were a bigger hot mess. And then as we evolve, success goes like this, right? Doesn't go in straight lines. And so the hot mess that we were in the past, that we couldn't see for the fog, that awakening, that in the midst of the depths, and what did we do, and what tools did we put together, and what did we find? It's that journey over there, not this present. We're not serving from the present. We're serving from the past, and we're walking people up to our present. And when they get up to here, we're still going. Does that make sense? So we're sharing where we are, but it's where we've been is where they are, and they're coming up to here, and we're still moving. We're not staying still. People are then. It's how you're leading, and we're following. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, don't sue me for saying the wrong thing. I'm just observing and saying, right, that is it for day 4. Whoop, whoop. Thank you, Robin, so much. And we did not cut out the internet. So that probably means that if somebody else is using the internet, that it's strained. So I don't know if I froze it all today. I don't think I did. Super happy and ecstatic about that. Like, breathe. So we've got day 5, day 6, and day 7. Share this out, invite somebody in. I know somebody else is on. Comment, let me know that you found it okay. Let me know that you're going to be doing your homework. And if you haven't posted your homework video, please post it for day 1, day 2, day 3, and now day 4. And day 1 was life accomplishments and achievements. Day 2 was where have you been featured as an author. Day 3 was where have you been featured as an authority. And day 4 is share and read your bio, and let me know what your freebie gift is. Share your picture if you want to, because we're gonna go with a media kit so that we can get on those calls, and so that we can cross promote and actually be joint vision partners like Robin and I are, and like Ramona is coming on team. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Robin, I think you're amazing. Thank you so much for your love, for your support, for your guidance, for holding space for everyone. even when we've been in a hot mess, we have still served. So yeah, I love you. I'll speak to you soon. See you for the next one. Click into the playlist and you will find all of the videos above and below. All right. Robin says, love you. That's me, and she loves you too. See you later. Take care. Bye. Bend the